Two other important experiences in the presence of Bhagavan were shared by Subbaramayya. Ananthachari took great pains in printing the Ramana Gita. His help was appreciated in the preface of the book. He pleaded earnestly with Bhagavan to have his name removed. But Bhagavan responded with, "Why do you worry? To ask for the omission of your name is as egotistic as to desire its inclusion. So let it be. After all, who knows who Ananthachari is?" Most of us understand humility to be withdrawal from recognition. We seldom understand that accepting things as they are is the pinnacle of humility. Pannalal, the commissioner of the Allahabad division, once visited the ashram with his family. He complained to Bhagavan that though he had riches, enormous power, and material comforts, he did not have peace of mind. Bhagavan asked him, "Why do you want peace? Why can't you be as you are?" And Pannalal replied, "Because I am not happy otherwise." And Bhagavan said, "Then it is like this. A man who has a headache will not rest until he has taken the right medicine and has got rid of his ailment, because health is our true state and not illness. In a similar way, peace is our true nature. Indeed, we are at peace, but we forget that and seek peace from external sources. This is an impossible quest and creates all these problems. The moment you withdraw your mind from external objects and turn it inwards, it then takes to real peace and feels happy." Once in the early hours of the morning when Subbaramayya visited Bhagavan, Bhagavan talked about how we have a glimpse of our real self every day. Between the state of sleep and waking, there is a moment of twilight. The waking consciousness begins with the thought of I. Just before the upsurge of this thought, there is a fraction of a second of undifferentiated pure consciousness. So first there is unconsciousness, followed by pure consciousness, and then creeps in the thought of I. It is during this state that we become conscious of the world around us. We can sense pure consciousness only if we are alert and watchful for the state. The beauty of Bhagavan's teaching is that it is simple, direct, and natural. We are fortunate to be able to read about these sacred relationships between the Master and his old devotees. In the process, our own consciousness becomes purified. It becomes equipped to focus on the truth. We automatically turn to our brain, our memories, desires, because we feel that security is there. One must have total faith. Arunachala means Arunachala. Aruna is being, aliveness, and Achala means unmoved. When the mind remains unmoved, then it has no other choice but to dissolve itself in the self, in self-awareness. In other words, that which is called unmoved. That is what Bhagavan meant when he said, everyone finally has to come to Arunachala. If you want the truth, you have to keep the moving mind immobile. I was close to Subbaramayya, and I once visited his hometown. He then showed me the horizon and said, "Ganesa, Arunachala is there. Can you not see Arunachala?" Naturally, I could see Arunachala, and I can tell you that it is not a miracle. When the mind says, "I do not see Arunachala," you are paying attention to its immediate projection of non-seeing. Reject the mind's false projection. One's faith in oneself is truth. Subbaramayya showed me Arunachala from a distance of 400 miles, and I could see it. Nambiar, whom I was acquainted with in Bombay right from 1960, was also soaked in truth. He was the managing director of a very big company and lived in a palatial house facing the ocean. He asked me to come to his house for dinner. I used to feel a little shy to enter his house. He set me at ease and took me to his upstairs patio and showed me the ocean. He then said, while embracing me, "See, Ganesan? Look, Arunachala is here." Again on that day, I saw Arunachala on the surface of the ocean. Only later on did I stay in Arunachala and experience its depth. Everyone has to come to Arunachala. These are the holy words of Bhagavan. One must have faith not only in these words, but in ourself. We have to turn within to ourselves as we are the truth. There is truth everywhere. Do not turn to the brain or the mind, because it will only project the untruth and lead you to believe that such things are untrue and false. This is what two great devotees, K.K. Nambiar and Professor G.V. Subbaramayya, imparted to me. They did this by showing me the real Arunachala. They showed me the Arunachala outside so that I would turn within and experience Arunachala within me every moment. Each of these old devotees of Bhagavan has come from Arunachala, because Bhagavan is Arunachala, and they are its rocks and boulders. They have gone back to Arunachala. And our Krishnamurti Iyer, also a great devotee, once said to me, "Ganesa, you are also one of the rocks. I am also one of the rocks. You are going back. Let us go back consciously, not unconsciously." I am only a speck of dust, not even a rock. Maybe you are a rock, a big rock. Nambiar was a rock. Kunju Swami once pointed to a rock up on the hill and said, "This is our Marunganara." When going round the hill, I enjoy looking at these rocks because the relationship between the guru and the disciple is vital for plunging within. Subbaramayya once said this to me. There are many guidelines for going outside. We have doors and there are road maps to guide us. But for going within, there is no map and there is no guide. Just as the Upanishads say, the bird has no path. Where the bird flies is the path. The fish has no path in water. Wherever it swims is the path. In a similar way, you have to dive within and find your path. None of the scriptures can help you. None of the theoretical knowledge that you have will help you. You can achieve it by having complete faith in yourself. How beautifully the bird flies. Does it worry about the path? Does the fish hesitate? Then why do we hesitate? Plunge within. My master Ramana always said, dive within, plunge within, and go inwards. So dive within with full faith in Bhagavan, and you are sure to find the inner guru waiting for you with open arms. G.V. Subbaramayya had two daughters, Lalita and Indra. They used to come to see Bhagavan regularly, even though it was very difficult for them to travel the distance. On one visit, Indra, turning over the pages of the then new Telugu edition of the Upadesa, picked up the first two letters of bold type in the 4 lines of Sanskrit verse by Sri Bhagavan, and read them together aloud. Diham naham koham soha. The words together meant, I am not the body. Who am I? I am he. On hearing this, Bhagavan said, very good, that will do. The rest of the stanza you need not read. What you have read is the quintessence of wisdom. Make it your mantra. Thereafter, every time Bhagavan saw Indra on this visit, he would ask her to repeat this mantra. Soon she knew it by heart. On the final day of the visit, the two of them were taking leave of Bhagavan just as he was ready to go for his usual walk up on the hill. They approached him and said, Bhagavan, we have to go home. Saying this, she cried. Patting Indra most lovingly, Bhagavan said, you go to your place, while I go to my place, pointing to the hill. Significantly, it proved to be Indra's last leave taking. After reaching home, both children wrote to Subbaramayya. Lalita wanted him to convey her salutations to Sri Bhagavan and inform him of her promotion to the next class. Indra wrote that she was constantly repeating the mantra and meditating on Sri Bhagavan. On perusing these letters, Bhagavan looked most graciously pleased. Some time later, little Indra passed away. Subbaramayya had a samadhi built for her, on which was inscribed the mantra, Diham Naham Koham Soham.